Hey, welcome back to the Backwoods Gourmet. Kind of a gloomy, nasty day here in the backwoods of Florida, so let's bake something in the Dutch oven. Y'all stay tuned. Okay, here are the things you're going to need to make this recipe. You're going to need a little sugar, some flour, good old lard, some milk, some raisins, some brown sugar, some wax paper, some good old clever gold baking powder, some salt, and some cinnamon. Pretty simple, easy to make this at camp. You could probably make up the dry ingredients ahead of time to save you some time in a day. We're going to use the big number 12 Lodge Dutch oven, and I have pre-greased that with some of our good old lard over here. So let's get to making these great cinnamon twirled biscuits. Alright, I'm going to start out with our large glass bowl. The first ingredient we're going to put in is flour. This is self-rising flour, even though we're going to give it a little help. I find that it doesn't have quite enough leavening in it to really do a great job. So that's going to be 3 cups self-rising flour. Alright, into that we have some sea salt, about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, like I said, it doesn't have quite enough leavening in it for me. At least a couple tablespoons. I usually go at about 3 level tablespoons of baking powder. We're going to go ahead and give that a quick stir just to incorporate all the dry ingredients. Now, you see the potato masher here, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I love to use this thing for making biscuits, and we'll show you how we do that. Now, the next thing we're going to put start putting in our fat, and then this is lard. This is not shortening. Shortening is 1 molecule away from plastic. So we're going to use a traditional ingredient that the old timers would have had and used and did forever. I don't know how the makers of shortening convinced us that for some reason their product was better than lard, because you know, it's a hydrogenated oil which has been linked to all kinds of issues with cholesterol and obesity and all that. So we're going to take the potato masher and we're going to mash that into our flour and our other mixture until it becomes a little kind of sandy, grainy, gravelly. Not big chunks left, but not completely pulverized either. Okay, now that we've got that kind of mashed together a little bit, go ahead and put in about a ½ cup of sugar. This is going to be a sweet roll, so we'll mash that together. You could have put that in the beginning. I like to do it at this stage so it doesn't combine with the fat as much, but either way would be okay. Okay, now that our dry ingredients are combined, let's move this stuff out of the way. We have this is milk and cream, the half and half. You could use straight milk, use buttermilk, light cream. If you don't have any of those, use water. We're going to use it because we have it. We may have a little bit more. Let's go ahead and, we don't want the dough to be too wet, but we need it to come together. Swirling around there until it picks up all the dry. We're just going to keep up with this until we get a nice dough ball. Okay, we got our dough ball. Now we're just going to flour our surface here. Got a little flour on top of our dough balls to help us get them out there. Just turn it out of the bowl right onto your floured surface. It's like making any other kind of bread or dough. I keep my thing handy here so we can get more flour. You don't have to knead this a lot. We don't want it to get tough. So we need it all to come together into a nice ball. Alright, next step, we want to take this whole lemon, starting here but leaving off up to the top, we want to spread softened butter. I use the back of a spoon, softened butter right across our square. We want to stop though before we get to the top. So all of this, we want it to be a nice even layer of butter on it. Okay, back of the spoon works great for this, as you can see. Side there. Okay, as long as your butter is room temperature, even a cool day like today, it's working out really fine. All right. So next, we're going to grab our brown sugar. Spread that right out of the bag, crumble it between our fingers, and spread that out all over your buttered area. Just a nice little even layer. It doesn't have to be real thick, but try to keep it consistent. Okay? Just like that. Fine. All right, now we have raisins. You can use a number of different kind of fruits. Raisins is pretty well accepted, and I imagine that blueberries would work pretty well with this. So we're just going to scatter raisins out right on top of the brown sugar. Just trying to make sure they're separate. You know, sometimes they get in these little clumps, and you got to get in there and separate them. They get all stuck together. We don't want them all stuck together. Covered. Clips are broken up. You could use this opportunity to put on a number of different ingredients. Nuts, other types of blueberry, like stuff like blueberries, whatever. We're trying to keep it simple for you. Next step, this is cinnamon, and we're going to give that a very generous shake of cinnamon across that area with the brown sugar. That smells wonderful. Alright. Now we'll show you the next step. See what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my roller. I'm going to gently roll that mixture nice and flat, and that's going to kind of seat that mixture into our dough. All right, just a gentle push. Okay, now let's get that out of the way. That's the great thing about having this wax paper. It's going to help us roll this. So we're going to use the edge of our wax paper to start that first edge right down there nice and tight. Okay, and as we go, we can kind of move the wax paper back and use it to roll this into a tight log. And it really helps to keep it nice and straight and to pull it evenly. You can never do this really with just your hands alone. So having it on this paper, back up here so we can just keep you guys in the shot. Having it on this paper is really useful. All right, now we'll get right here to the end. All we need is a little bit of water on our fingers. I'm going to wet this edge here. This is the bowl we had the milk in. Just wet that last edge right there, and that'll make your dough a little tacky, and it'll stick together and it'll seal your roll. Let's go ahead and finish rolling it. Alright. Make sure the wax paper's out of there. Okay. I can back that up. You can see our perfect little log. Most of our ingredients stayed inside, which is fantastic. Yeah, we're getting close. So let me clean this up and we'll show you how to get it in a Dutch oven. Okay, now we got our log. We're ready to put it into our oven. So we need a very thin, super sharp knife, and we're just going to cut through the roll and make about 1/2 inch to 5/8 thick slices very carefully, and then we're going to put them in the Dutch oven touching each other. Okay, using a slicing motion seems to help a little. You're going to hit those raisins and so forth, so trying to use a very, very sharp knife is going to be helpful. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead, just put the lid on this guy. We got our fire going here. I had to light a few more charcoals. I started these a little early, and I cooked these things in the oven at 450. So we're gonna load that top of that thing up pretty well. Okay, you know, you obviously want to get them out along the edges if possible, but 450 is what we're looking for in there. And I'm only maybe going to put about 3 or 4 gently around the outskirts of the bottom. I don't want a lot of bottom heat here. Let's just get some kind of indirect heat. Go ahead and put them out here. Set those aside. Things are falling today. We're just going to we're not really tucking them under the bottom. We're just going to kind of ease them around the outskirts. And again, not a lot of bottom heat. I don't want those bombs to burn, especially we got a lot of sugar in there. So we're loaded up on the top there pretty well. I think that should be about right. We'll keep an eye on it though. Okay, while we're waiting on our biscuits, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze. This is so simple, guys. You're not going to believe this if you didn't already know it. Here we got about 3 tablespoons of water. This is just powdered sugar, confectioner sugar. Equal parts sugar and water. Okay? Mix that together. This is exactly what a regular glazed donut is glazed with. Every few minutes you need to go here and here and rotate this lid. In this case I'm going counterclockwise with them, but we'll give it a couple more minutes and we'll go inside and take a look. As these coals burn down on the bottom, I'll kind of start pushing them a little further under, get a little more bottom heat. As a matter of fact, we'll go right in here now and just take a look real quick. Okay, they're rising up, melting together, so they're cooking. Let's keep rotating that lid about every 5 or 6 minutes. Alright, we've been rotating this lid every 10 minutes. It's been about 25 minutes and looking pretty awesome right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take them off now. And we'll let them cool a minute. Smell really good. those from the Dutch oven. Probably should have waited a little longer for them to cool. Still real warm, and they broke up just a little bit, but that's okay. This is outdoor cooking, so what we're doing now is we're just brushing on our glaze, and as that cools, it's going to give it a nice, like, little glaze on the top of each one. You can put this on there as thickly or thinly as you'd like. I already tasted some crumbs and they're really good. There you are, folks. The cinnamon sugar biscuit swirl done in Dutch oven. Delicious. Those biscuits were absolutely awesome. Hope they'd come out that way. They were real light, flaky. A little difficult to get out of the Dutch oven without breaking them, but really, really good, especially on a cold, gloomy day. So make this out deer camp. Surprise all you guys out there that you can actually make something like this outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching the Backwoods Gourmet. As always, please subscribe, share, comment. Hey, and if you like what we're doing, hit that like button. We'll see you next time.